We're good. So reconvening our meeting, we're going to move on to items 13 and 14. We're going to be taking these two items together, the wellbeing reports, and invite Connie Rue, the Manager for Employee Experience, and Wayne Wilson, Manager for People Operations, to present these two items. This is the wellbeing report, 1st of July to the 30th of September 25, quarter one, and equally the quarter two report. The floor is yours.
Tēnā koutou, I'm Connie Ruiz from the Employee Experience team. So I just would like to make a few notes in relation to the report presented. So what is a bit new is in quarter one, we engaged in collaboration with the Heart Foundation in blood pressure checks across the organisation, and they've done a little bit of education around people's heart health, which was received really well by staff. We've also made a small amendment in terms of how we report on the offboarding survey, with the hope that it would improve a bit more clarity and insight into some of the quantitative data behind it. So we have now included rather a descriptive paragraph about the sentiments behind the previous graph that was in the report. So that has changed. And finally, in October, during quarter two, we have engaged or supported Mental Health Week by going to all sites and actually promote all of the wellbeing offerings that we have available for Kaumāhi.
Fantastic. I'll open up for any questions. Councillor Harpeta.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Connie. Just looking at page 133 on the turnover by group, just looking at the turnover of, well, pretty much the one of headquarters. I know it's only one person, but just an explanation around the turnover of that whole area, of all of it actually. Why are some, what's your reasoning for why some are higher than others?
Yeah, could I just make a correction just on the turnover one? The figures for September quarter were 12 and the figures for December were 21. Just a correction there. But in relation to the one for headquarters where it's 20% and one person, obviously it's a very small team, 5. So one person makes such a high one, so that's that. The other ones, over time, they will be reasonably consistent. There are a couple of areas where we do have higher turnover, like the call centre, for example. But over time, all of the units, all the groups should be reasonably consistent. But so, these are done over a 12-month period, so you know they can do that. They'll jump around a bit.
What would be an acceptable level for turnover for?
Okay. In the past, and we haven't changed that, we look for a turnover of 12% of being healthy, and so that's, you know, we expect people to develop while they're here, and they won't always get an opportunity to move up within the organisation. So you want to be developing people all the time. The other one, of course, is people do retire and leave for other reasons other than promotions and that. But so yeah, so if you had a turnover of 12%, there would be an average tenure of 8.5 years.
So all of this is healthy?
Yeah, I think, yeah, we had, as you're aware, we were up in the 20% across the organisation a couple of years ago, and now we've gone well below that 12%, and we're just, the last couple of months we've had a little bit higher turnover, but we're still below, so that's sort of evening out over that high turnover we had a few years ago.
And do you have a measure for how many people transfer in between departments across the organisation?
One of the things we look at, but we don't measure it and we don't have a goal, is for internal promotion or internal movement within the organisation. But we keep an eye and make sure that we want new people coming in from outside the organisation, but we also want to be developing our own people for it. So around about 30% of it, at the moment would be people who are are getting a job within the organisation.
So you don't have a goal for it, but you think it's a measure of around 30%?
We've never actually sat down and said this is what we're aiming for, or this is what we think is really good, or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Mr Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Johnson.
Thanks, Mr Chair. Thanks, Connie and Wayne. So my questions are about Table 5 on page 132, which is also around turnover. So for the final column, which I presume is just for the September quarter, is it?
Yes, and
Yeah.
that's the one I've just corrected. It's the actual numbers are 12 and 8.4%.
So where is 12?
12 is the employee initiated at the top,
Right.
and it says 20 and it should be 12.
Yeah.
And the percentage below that is 8.4%.
Okay.
So I'm
Yeah,
sorry
because-
about that. But
No, that's right, because I couldn't make the 20 and the 15% marry up.
yeah,
Yeah.
no.
So the actual numbers are 12 and
8.4.
8.4%. Okay, well, that's helpful, thank you. But even so, when you look at the next table for September 25, is that just for the month? So employee initiated turnover for the month is just for the month of September and so not the quarter?
Yeah. So for September 25, 2 people thing.
Yeah.
For the 12 months to September, there were 56 in total.
Yeah.
And so you get an 8.4%, 56 divided by 650,
Okay.
round up.
So we've got 2 extra months counted in the table above, in
Yes.
Table 5, than are
Yeah,
counted in Table 6, and that's why the numbers don't add up?
Yeah, there was sorry.
No,
It was
that's
a big
fine.
mistake.
I'm just checking because I thought something must be wrong somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Thank you very much for that.
That's great. There's no further questions. Thank you both for presenting this item, or both items. I'm going to move from the chair that we're combining these 2 recommendations into one, that the committee receives some memorandums, wellbeing reports July to 30th September 25, quarter 1, and wellbeing report 1st of October to 31st of December 25, quarter 2, presented to the Finance, Performance and Audit Committee of 4th of March 2026. Look for a seconder. Thank you, Councillor Zebba-Ballin. I don't want to speak. Does anyone want to speak to this item? Therefore, I'll invite a vote. Thank you. Fourteen votes for, that's passed clearly. Thank you. That moves us to item 15, which is the 6-monthly report for international relations and education activity. Invite Gabrielle Logo, Manager of International Relations, and Colonel Conker, International Relations and Education Advisor, to come and present this item. Welcome. Yes.
Kia ora, Mr Chair. Just to make a declaration as opposed to a conflict, but one of my daughters travelled over to Japan representing Rangitane.
Thank
Kia
you.
ora. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, just press the right-hand button and you're on. Welcome.
Thank you. Gabrielle Loga, Manager International Relations. I am very pleased to reintroduce to councillors my colleague Kunal Chonka, or he goes by Casey as well. Kunal was here in 2023-24, also in the capacity of international relations and education advisor, and we are very happy to welcome him back in the same capacity, and hopefully this time for much longer than the last term. So I can't mention Casey without mentioning the significant role that he played in the recent success of hosting our Missoula Mayoral Delegation and also the Festival of Cultures in February. And these two big events will be included in the next 6 months report. Coming back to the report at hand, we are playing catch up a little bit with the timing, given that this particular 6 months report is to cover the 6 months period from May 25 to the end of October 25. Due to schedule, we couldn't have brought it to the committee any earlier, but we are pleased to be able to present it now. It also plays in well with the timing of our changes in personnel that November and December 25, the team was down to the capacity of one person, and we were very much in the planning and organizing, coordinating mode for the big events in February 26. So that means that in the next 6 months report, you will see events reported from January 26 rather than from November 25. That's just a little bit about the timeline of this current report and the next report for your expectation. About this report, we hope that we've managed to present the highlights of the global and national trends in international relations that went on to impact on the local level of international relations activities. You will see a very close correlations between what we saw happening and what is the opportunity that we define for our international relations and the city economic development. Further than that, we are very pleased to see the result of our advocacy through the Regional International Education Network that brought in the International Student Experience Survey and the International Expenditure Survey. This is probably the most concrete evidence that we could bring to councillors that shows the tangible outcome of our work in international education. So with that, I will take the report as read and happy to answer any question. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to open it up for any questions from members. There's been none. Thank you very much for presenting this report. Thank you to you both. I'll move that the committee receives the 6-monthly report on international relations and education activity presented at the 4th of March 2026. Seconded by Councillor Hapata. Open it up for any comments. Councillor Zebulon.
Thank you, Mr.
Floor's
Chair.
yours.
I just wanted to comment that I noticed that there has been more and very explicit focus in this report on the outcomes and the implications of the activity, and that's something that we'd asked for in the past, and also there was quite a lot of connection to the alignment between the activity and the goals. So I just wanted to note that we'd asked for that in the past. I thought it was really clear in this report, and a big effort has been made to give us what we asked for, and I really appreciated that. Thanks.
Councillor Hapata.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just also want to follow up on what Councillor Sabellans just said. It's also good to see the number of international students by region that have come into the region as well. So 36,391. So I think that's really good for the region to see that many students come into the region, or international students. So thank you very much. And I will be supporting the recommendation going forward.
The Mayor.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. Look, can I just acknowledge the international team who don't always get the acknowledgement that they deserve. So thank you to Gabrielle and KC, especially over the last couple of weeks where the International Festival of Cultures, although that is done as a city, they play a big part in pulling parts of that together. Also, having our sister city of 44 years, Missoula here, Mayor Andrea Davis sent me a note to thank us. She's safely home now, but is already working on MOU around some work that they think they can get tangible outcomes from the bid and downtown Missoula, the two universities working stronger together, sport. Believe it or not, Missoula is one of the few cities in America where rugby actually has a presence, and education with schools, along with the other city-to-city cultural activities that we've done. I think the telling thing in this report is there is some stats there now, and I'm getting it, and you'll see it with even buses being fuller, halls of residence being fully booked, campuses being a bit more busier than they have been, is that the international market has come back. And without any soliciting, I'm hearing that from both IPU and UCOL, who run a very successful health school in terms of nursing and other radiography and other health-related courses, but also Massey. Although it hasn't gone that well for Massey in the chamber today, they have actually been doing a lot from their side. So it's really, really good that we're seeing the campus alive again. Got a way to go, but we're getting there. You're seeing the value of international students. And look, just putting a rough figure on it, just so people know, because those that are more financially minded might want to make a note of this. It's worth to the city over $40 million, the international student market. So it is significant. And these guys do a lot of the heavy lifting in that space. So I do hope you support it. It has been difficult at times because international education, like a lot of ED, is economic development is a longer game. But and for the little bit that we put in, the return on investment is pretty huge. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Marshall Lobb, Deputy Mayor.
Kia ora. Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I too just want to say thank you to Gabriel and also to KC for their tremendous work. It's been lovely to see this, and Councillor Isabellan was quite right, because attached to this is evidence and baseline data that we can look at later. So I know at times it's been very difficult to access that kind of information, but it was certainly more comprehensive than I've seen, and well done. Also, I think that, having had the Festival of Cultures, the ambassadors who were here, I know that the Mexican ambassador, there were several of us who were over at the event before we walked over to open the festival, had made really complimentary comments about how special it was to have the Festival of Cultures here, and also the ambassadors here. And they knew that Palmerston Orford had a strong history of looking to develop and strengthen the international relationships that we've had. And Missoula sister, our city sister of Missoula, there's a bit of a tongue twister there, wasn't it? Having them with us was really enlightening. And I suppose there are opportunities that, as the Mayor had said, that we can build on. But in this day and age, with the way things are globally, and we are global citizens as well, it's really important to nurture those relationships, because global relationships give us access to global solutions, talking about housing, climate change, community well-being, and all those other things, to economic development. And it's certainly, we're with like-minded people looking for solutions as opposed to problems. So thank you to the team. Thank you. Kia ora, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. That concludes comments, and now I'd like to invite a vote on the recommendation before us. That's passed unanimously, 15 votes for. That brings us to item 16, which is the committee work schedule. There's just one update that I need to highlight, which is on page 237, which is 14 on the list of items. It has 1st of April for the Featherston Street investigation for buses and pickups for vehicles on the Green Road Reserve outside Boys High. That's moved from April to the 13th of May. So it's just pushed out one round of meetings, but that's the only update. Is there any questions on the work schedule, Councillor Michelard?
Sorry, Mr. Chair. Just had a question on item 46, report back on investment options for Palmerston Airport Limited. I understand that this report was supposed to come back to us in August last year and was deferred to December after the election, and now it's moved back to TBC. Can I just understand what's going on here?
Thank you for the question. I'll pass that to the GM. Thank you, Cam.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. A few things occurring there, and I guess in terms of being able to bring back the best advice is around being able to get a good valuation, a decent valuation for the airport. As you'll know, they're going through a major construction process, as well as establishing some warehousing that will ultimately impact on the value of the entity. It would be wise to actually have that locked in place and completed before it becomes valued for the purposes of that report.
So, based on that answer, what you're implying is that the report might come after the
Yes.
renovation of the airport and that sort of thing.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Hapata.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Item 10, Tamakuku Terrace, it's been moved to the 1st of April, which is a great day. Is there any going to be any change to that date, or because it's already been changed once? Is there any going to be a change to that date?
Glenn O'Connor, acting GM Infrastructure. Councillor, that's more about us getting full and final information, and delaying the report for a month will allow us to table a detailed report rather than saying we're not sure.
So we're guaranteed we are going to get it on that date or not?
As guaranteed as we can be at the moment, Councillor.
Thank you. Thanks, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Wood.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to back up Councillor Michelard, I believe we had a report from the airport last year around the consideration of investment options to develop the terminal, and issue of shares was one of those options. How could have they made a decision on that if a report hadn't been written about the value of what those shares might have been?
Through you, Mr. Chair, I would have to have a discussion with them to see if there is any other information. I don't have that to hand.
Okay, so we haven't received a valuation report for the airport in April last year, pushed to December like we'd been informed.
Not that I'm aware of, but...
Okay.
Okay. No further questions. Thank you for that. I'm going to move that the Finance, Performance and Audit Committee receive its schedule dated March 2026. Help you with a seconder. Thank you, Councillor Hapata. Any comments? Now invite a vote. Thank you. That's passed unanimously, 15 votes for. That concludes our business. Can I call on our Deputy Mayor to close with karakia?
Certainly, Mr. Chair, tēnā tātou. Ko matua tātou mahi I tēnei wā, our work is finished for this moment. Hoki ora pai ki o whānau, ki tō tātou hāpuri, return safely to your family, to our community. Me noho tahi mai tātou I runga ngā manaakitanga katoa. May we all be blessed. Tēnā tātou. Kia ora, Mr. Chair.
Kia ora. Thank you. That closes our meeting. Thank you. Mr. Mayor. Oh.
Thanks, Chair. Look, colleagues, you're free now, you're released. But for those that want to, there's a presentation at Te Manawa, I think we've all been invited to, at 5 p.m.